In today's video, we're going to look at the Google Stitch tool. We'll learn how to build applications and web pages, how to use this in AI Studio, export it to Figma, or even use the whole project with anti-gravity. So first off, what is Google Stitch? Google Stitch is a beta tool from Google Lab that handles interface design. It can generate multiple versions of an idea you have in mind through images, create heat maps to show what users are most likely to look at when they visit a website or app, and it does all of this within the Google ecosystem. Right now, it includes models like 3.0 Flash, Thinking with 3.0 Pro, and others. The interface format it gives us can be taken to AI Studio to build a more complete and interactive application, or we can save and export it internally to code it ourselves. So what's the difference between this and an image generation tool that can create an interface? Well, this tool is specifically designed for this purpose. Before we dive into the important part, which is how Google Stitch works, we need to know if this has any cost. Well, the Google Stitch tool, as we know, is currently in beta, and now's the time to take advantage because it's free. As we know, eventually all the tools Google releases end up being paid, especially when we want to use newer models, like in this case, Gemini 2.0 Flash, or maybe in the future they'll include Claude. Who knows, right? Right now we only have 2.0 Flash and Thinking 2.0, but I'm sure that down the road they'll find some excuse to add a paid plan like with all the other tools in Google's ecosystem. Right now it's completely free and we can try it today, so now's the time, take advantage of it. Alright, let's get into action. We're going to be creating a mobile app with Google Stitch. Let's see how it generates that interface. So first thing we'll do is head to stitch.withgoogle.com, and as you can see, here's the prompt. Now, the prompt is on your screen, it's yours, but in exchange, I'm leaving you another gift in the description, an 8-minute private audio with tips on using AI tools. That way, you'll also get access to the AI training I upload. Basically, first we set the context, we tell it to design a user interface for a premium strength and gym training app. The app is designed for users, whether they're beginners or advanced. We define the visual style, the main page, then a profile page with statistics and such, a page with exploration techniques, and a fourth page with, additional quality or additional details. So let's paste this prompt. I think we've already pasted it. We selected the Thinking with 3 Pro model. We want good quality, and we're going to hit generate. It's 5:56. Let's see how long it takes. As you can see, we can also upload files and a website URL if we want some visual reference for what we're trying to generate. But since that's not my case, it's not necessary. We'll make sure up here we have application selected. The prompt, despite being long, it accepts. There's the prompt, huh? Look how long it is, huh? Look how long it is. Let's see if the tool can now generate what we asked for. As a nice touch, it shows the estimated time here. Something that's honestly the envy of any other tool in any ecosystem, whether Google Cloud, ChatGPT. I don't know why they give us this interface, but I absolutely love that they thought of it. Alright, the 100 seconds have passed, and let's see what this tool has generated. Okay, first of all, it generated these 4 images. We have the app section where it lets us select or create the different exercises we've done. Enter the weight. I had asked for it in pounds or kilos. I assume it would let me configure that. Reps and RPE, so pretty interesting. Then we have stats and heat map, which gives us the user's statistics, also based on what they're tracking and achieving. We can also explore routines and add new ones. Here in the explore section at the bottom, which I already showed you, explore stats. Also, as you see, it tracks rest time between sets, which is really important, but it doesn't record it. And then we also have the plate calculator, okay? I created this, or rather I asked it to create this, because when you're loading plates on a bar, you need to know how many to put on each side. As you can see, the interface itself doesn't actually work, okay? No matter how much I change the data, and here, for example, we already have interface errors where the kilos appear on top. But we can also preview each of these sections. As we see, it's completely designed for mobile. On tablet, it doesn't even adapt the responsive design. I have to say, I think it's because I specified to make it for mobile, but the responsive design does work, okay? Plus, we have the option to generate variations. Let's take the main page, okay? We're going to tell it to generate several variations for me. Well, we can ask it to regenerate because, for example, here it wasn't able to load it. We can also make a heat map. Let's make a heat map somewhere more interesting. For example, here we're going to tell it to make me a predictive heat map. As you can see up here on the left, it's loading, and there we go. We almost have the heat map. As you can see, it also works with a super convenient Canva style. In fact, here I think we can change the Canva background exactly in case we want to change it. And also, apart from the ability to generate a heat map, we can generate variations, which is what I wanted to do, okay? Let's hit generate variations. It shows us the number of options, okay? We can generate up to 5 variations, and it says creativity range. Adjust means it offers options with more subtle changes. Explore unleashes creativity a bit without overdoing it. And reimagine basically goes all out, okay? Then we can give it custom instructions, which isn't my case right now. I just want to see what it can do for us. And it says aspects that vary. We can have it just vary the color palette, the images if we want them to vary. For me, the images too. Text fonts if we want them to vary. For me, text fonts as well. The text content doesn't interest me. I only want to change the colors, okay? We're going to change the layout and colors, generate variations. Let's go. I asked for 5, so it might take a while. But in the meantime, as you can see, it's generated the heat map for this image. What's this heat map thing? It's basically where users are most likely to look when they land here, okay? It's true that, for example, here the heat map looks pretty good. Why? Because the first thing you'd want to look at would be the orange button. You put it there for a reason, right? And then I'd go through the different sections. As you can see, I'd look more at the barber's quad because it's a bit more color themed. And this button also adds some color, though I'm not sure how much you'd notice it. Otherwise, you'd have to scroll a lot, right? I don't think it takes scrolling that much into account. But of course, a risk would be, for example, making a heat map here, okay? In this case, there's not much issue because you don't really care which part the user looks at. Now, obviously, if there were a buy button, you'd want the heat map focused there. But here, let's say there's a buy button at the top, okay, where it says target weight. Well, if I generate a heat map here now, you'll clearly see it's going to turn red. I mean, the red color is going to be heavily concentrated. And there we have the heat map. I have to say, I don't really agree that people are going to look at the 140, you know? Actually, this plate calculator thing, I hadn't even seen it. I mean, here, well, the heat map is kind of, it's a bit conceptual, which isn't totally bad, but people definitely wouldn't look at the 140 before the red plates. I mean, seriously, that's just wrong. But anyway, it gives us a rough idea of where people would look. Well, I can't lie to you. The truth is, it's been almost 10 minutes. It's only generated 2 parts for me, and we're going to check it out. First here, as you can see, it changed the timer at the bottom. Up here, it added a timer, an arrow back, and what? Well, it didn't quite finish generating it properly. It's true that I like the blue colorway better, how it looks and everything. And this one's the best for me. I mean, a much cleaner interface. I'm going to put them side by side so you can see them. A much cleaner interface. Add, set, tilt. It's literally the same thing, just with a different color, and that's it. So yeah, with this, we can make an app without any problem. Then we could grab it, polish it up, hit export, and take it to AI Studio if we wanted. So yeah, that's how you can generate the images without any problem for apps. All right, now we're going to use Google Stitch to make a website. So the prompt I'm going to give is the following. Important, I'll leave it for you, okay? I'm giving you a gift, and also in the description there are 2 more gifts, a private audio and a surprise gift for you to check out. Plus, through there, you'll have access to my AI training and whatever I upload there, latest news and more. So my goal is to create a website about generating images with AI, okay? Where that service is offered. So as we're seeing, first of all, we give it a bit of context. Design a web interface application for an AI image generation platform. The theme will be dark, the accents. Okay, clearly here there's only one image. There's not the main section. I mean, there wouldn't be an intro explaining the model being used or anything like that, more blog style. Let's see how it handles this. We're going to generate it with 3.0 Pro. We hit send. There it says mixing the paints. Let's see how long it takes. And as you can see there, it shows it'll take around 100 seconds. And there we have the interface. We have models, gallery, API, credits, the user section, share my generations, community. Well, we literally have all the sections you'd expect from an AI generation tool. Obviously, here we could now start playing with the prompt, start tweaking everything we wanted. In this case, of course, I asked for a website like this where you can simply generate images, but we can do other things like a website like this one, which talks about Napoli pizza, okay? Just give a quick intro, talk a bit about it. I mean, we don't have to limit ourselves to what I've created either. We can build a traditional website, no problem. And from here, we could ask it to generate variations, regenerate it, make a heat map, or modify any part. For example, I'd like to edit some text. See how we can select any text we want to edit. We could do a rating, create the design system if we wanted, even preview in a new tab, right? Let's see how it previews. There it is for desktop, there for tablet, and there for mobile. Well, the responsive design didn't turn out great, honestly. We'd need to work on that. But anyway, I think if we send this to an AI studio or something, it'll do it pretty quickly. So yeah, there we have it. Cheers. All right, how can we export a Google Stitch project to code? Okay, for example, I have these two projects. I have this first project with a training one, and this one would be a web page to generate with AI. So basically, we take our project, click on it, and we can view the code. It says coming soon. Okay. So here it does let me, okay, here it lets me see the code. We're seeing that, for example, it's using this here, which is an image, okay, a generated image. We're seeing that it's also using this other image. These are stock images that it has within its own image bank that Google has, okay? So we can click there and that's it. If it doesn't work, we click on save and that's it. It'll save as a zip file, okay? And if we open the zip file, inside we'll have the code, okay? HTML code, and there we'll have access to the code, okay? So that's how we can access the code. All right, how do you convert Google Slides to Figma? How do you get it into Figma? Well, it's super easy. It used to be a bit more complicated, but nowadays they've made it really simple. You just select it, click more, and then copy to Figma, okay? It exports directly for you. You can also get here by clicking export, okay? And Figma shows up. Click convert, it says. Your HTML will be converted to code.to.de sign and processed accordingly. Well, click convert, and basically what this does is, there it is, click copy. It says design copied to clipboard. Now just hit Control V or Command V in Figma to paste it there, okay? So now, for example, I've opened Figma, and if I hit Control V, there it pastes this section, okay? As you can see, it lets me select different things and so on. I have to say, I'm not used to using Figma, and I don't know if this will let us select each of these sections. I'm also in the design view, okay? Well, for those who know Figma, there you have it. If not, we can also get the code. I think Figma lets you modify the code with a paid version, so we can access the code too, okay? Here in view code or export. So there we have it. All right, and to wrap up with the most interesting part, let's say we only have free tools, okay? Well, as you know, Google Stitch is currently free, right? So we can take something we've generated, whatever we want with Google Stitch, okay? We send it a prompt and say, hey, generate this interface for us. I want, for example, I asked it to generate an image generation app for me. The prompt is this one here, okay? This one right here. I'm giving it to you. In the description, you'll also find an 8-minute private audio and another little gift. Check it out, okay? So what we do is select this or click export. Oh, wait, I need to select everything. Control A, we export and take it to AI Studio. We click compile with AI Studio, and of course, it sends the image one in PNG and in HTML and says, create an app with screens like this. Okay, it's true that the default code from what I've been seeing already works quite well, but I personally would recommend taking the prompt you sent and copying it. For example, here I've called it generation prompt UI. Well, let's remove this interface part, okay? So it generates the interface based on the image and everything works properly. Of course, this is very image focused, right? But this way we make it much easier for it to understand what needs to work, what doesn't, and so on. There it's going to start generating the image. We went directly with Gemini 3 Pro Preview, and there it'll start generating the code. Let's see how this turns out. And here we have, as we're seeing, it's kept the aesthetic 100%, and let's see what it's generated for us, okay? Based on, remember we repeated the prompt we sent, tweaking the interface bit, and that's it. It's generated all this code here, okay? And let's see the images. I can't interact with these. I can't click them. Community doesn't seem to work. I can change the model, okay? That's enough already. I can select the aspect ratio, the generate. I can write and hit generate. Well, it's asking us to choose an API key. Let's just add negative prompt. We have models, gallery, and API. None of this works, the credits, user, and share. So this is everything it's done for me. It hasn't really shown off, but it has made each of the sections clickable. Even this can scroll, and we also have the seed option. So very interesting. And this way, we could be doing this with everything. Creating a website, an application, to bring it to life. Obviously, once we've brought it to life, what would I recommend? Well, save it. We go to Google Anti-Gravity, to Visual Studio Code with the Google CLI, to Cloud Code through the terminal, whatever, right? But once we've brought it to life, we can move without any problem to another tool to start polishing those finer details. But yeah, this is the potential that the Google Stitch tool has right now, and I'm sure it has much more that I haven't been able to show in this video. And I'm sure that over time people will find more uses for it. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, subscribing is free, and remember that there's a gift in the description. See you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hugs.